Hi, welcome to Delicious and Light. I'm Dina D'Ambrosi, and today's episode is stuffed breads. We're going over our friend's house later this afternoon, and I'm going to make two kinds of stuffed breads. One is going to have roasted red peppers and cheese, and the other one is going to have ham and cheese. So some people know this as Stromboli. It's basically pizza dough, and you're going to roll the filling inside of it and bake it. It's super easy, which is why I'm making two recipes in one today. It's just a matter of the filling and changing that up. So the first thing you want to start off with is preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and one bread usually serves about 8 people. And I get low-fat ricotta cheese because in something like a stuffed bread, it'll taste exactly the same as it would the whole milk ricotta cheese. So just measure out about a half a cup works for the pizza crust. And I also use thin crust pizza dough because it has less calories, less fat than the regular kind, and I found that that's always worked for me. So just get a half a cup of that. We'll put that on the side. This recipe is on deliciouslight.com if you want to check it out, so you don't have to remember all the measurements. It's a 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese, so that gives it a nice salty flavor. A half a cup of mozzarella. Let's see, half a cup mozzarella. And then from there, you just want to add some pepper to your liking to taste. A teeny bit of salt. I don't use much salt because Parmesan cheese offers a lot of salt. And then here, you just want to add a half a teaspoon of garlic powder and a half a teaspoon of onion powder. Do not use garlic salt because that may be too salty for the dish. If you do use garlic salt, you like salt, then you might not want to add regular salt to that. So garlic powder and a half a teaspoon of onion powder. That's all this needs. And then just grab a spoon, mix it up real well. Set these things aside. Just mix that up. It's a lot of cheese in here. And you just want to get it so it's somewhat spreadable on your bread. We're all mixed in, so that's it. We're going to use that for the same base for both recipes. So this one I'll make the ham first. So just get your thin crust pizza, and I've never been real good about this, but I'm going to try it. Just open up your pizza crust. Like so. Strand of cheese. All right, and then just roll it out on a cutting board. And what I like to do is just make it kind of as even as a rectangle as you can make it. And this stuff is super stretchy and really easy to work with. That's why I just buy the pizza dough crust. If you're a real connoisseur of making everything from scratch, you can certainly do that. But I like this because it's low fat, low cal, and easy to do. And if you're going to a friend's house and you really don't want to spend a lot of time cooking something, this is really fun. Everybody usually loves this. And so I'm just using some Virginia ham. You can use any ham you like. And I'm going to put 3 pieces in the center of the dough. Whenever you're using this kind of dough, you want to leave at least 1 inch around, and that's so that you can seal it real well. And then what you do is just put your filling right in the middle there. Spread that out as much as you can. You just need a real thin layer because alright, and you just want to put in a real thin layer because when you roll it up, it's going to get a lot thicker. So just spread this out best you can. Kind of spread it, and it's okay if you can see the ham and it's not completely covering it. Because like I said, by the time you roll it up, you'll get all the cheese in there. Okay, and then from there, you just take 3 more slices of ham. Do it the same way. 2, 3. And then you start rolling. So what you want to do is just roll up once on the lengthwise, then fold in your sides like this, and then definitely leave some space there and just roll this up. That is it. That is the entire recipe. We'll put this on the baking sheet. I'm heating the oven up at 400 degrees, and then what you do is you bake it for 30 minutes. You cut it in thin slices and you see the spiral. So why don't we move on to the roasted red pepper bread. And what I'm going to do is, we've got all the same ingredients on the cheese mixture, so I'm just going to use the same bowl. So we'll get out the ricotta cheese, half a cup of that. Half a cup of the mozzarella cheese. Put that in there. 1/4 cup Parmesan. And this one we actually are going to use one more ingredient that we didn't use in the ham. Besides the onion powder and the garlic powder, we're going to use about a half a teaspoon of basil. Now this basil was fresh from my garden last year, so when I started it in my hands, it was a little more than half a teaspoon. So what I did was once I crumbled it up, it turns out to be about a half a teaspoon. But that's something that you can add a little more, a little less, or leave it out if you don't like it at all. So we'll do a half a teaspoon onion powder, half a teaspoon garlic powder, salt and pepper to taste. And if you know your crowd and they like it a little spicy, you could put a little red pepper flakes in there. That would be delicious as well. All right, and I am just going to mix this up until it's all incorporated and spreadable. We're all mixed in here, and I am just going to do a little plug that Apex Leadership Company helps provide this show for us. So I'm just taking out the roasted red peppers, 1 jar, 12-ounce jar. That's kind of standard. I'm going to go over and just rinse them out real quick. And bring them over. We're going to put them on the bread. All right. So I'm just going to leave that, let that drain for a minute as I open up the bread. So don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us on our website, deliciouslight.com. So I'm just opening up this second dough, and we're going to do it pretty much the same, but I'm going to show you because it's your choice. You can roll it lengthwise or shortwise. That one I had made real wide and short. This one I'm going to roll up the opposite way, just to show you that you could do either or. All right, so let's get these peppers on. And we're going to do a little more than half. Let those continue to drain. I think I'm balancing out there. So just spread the peppers on a single layer, like so. Just get your cheese mixture on. And just grab a spatula so I can get every bit of that cheese, because that's everybody's favorite. Just take this off the spoon and get what we can off the bowl and spread that. All right, and then just put the last of your peppers in. Put that back there. And then again, just do a single layer. You've got plenty of space there. And just fold it once this way. And fold up the sides. And just roll it through. So I'm just using the longer part. So the bread won't be as wide and will be longer. It's personal preference as to what you'd like to do there. And then just shape it any way you want. So you'll see I've got the two breads here. I've got our ham and cheese and I got our roasted red pepper. And all we need to do from here is just place it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Set the timer for 25 minutes. Just check it and you just want it to be browned with the cheese melted. So I'm going to throw this in the center rack and set the timer for 25 minutes and we'll see how it goes. I'll see you back. Thanks. All right, the timer just went off and I checked the breads and they're ready. So they're nice and brown. Cheese is melted. You could tell because a little bit leaked out on one of our stuffed breads. It looks like the ham. And there it is. Now, when you take it out of the oven, let it sit for at least 5 minutes. Let it cool, and then you can take a spatula, put it on a platter, and once it's cooled, you can slice it up nice. If I were to slice it right now, it would just fall apart. So we're just going to let that sit, let it cool, and I will put it around a platter and show you what it looks like once it's cool. See you soon. All right, the breads have been cooling for a while, and we're getting ready to go over our friend's house. So I'm just going to cut these, put them on a platter, and we'll be all ready to go. So I'm cutting, let's see which one this is. So this is the roasted red pepper. And when they're nice and cool like this, they're so easy to cut. So we'll just cut this one up, put it on. And I like to cut the ends a little small because they tend to be mostly bread and not a lot of filling. So if somebody just wants that, they can have it. But for those who want a lot of filling, just put that on. And we'll get this bread, ham and cheese. See how beautiful that comes out? Nice spiral in there. We can't possibly serve this until we taste it first, make sure it's good. Delicious. And that is it. So until next time, we'll catch you later. Thank you and enjoy.